everyone. So this is the final one in our high school stereotype series, and I was having a hard time coming up with a seventh, and then I went over to Facebook and I posted on my wall, what should I do next to complete this series? And a few of you came up with some really good ideas. There was the exchange student from Paris and the Catholic schoolgirl. Now, the only reason I chose to go with the Catholic schoolgirl over the Paris exchange student is simply that I don't have a lot of products from Paris, and I sort of wanted to keep in line with using, you know, the e.l.f. products and stuff like that, especially because I have seen people who do live in European countries able to get a hold of e.l.f. now. I'm not sure if that's because of makeup.co.uk or if e.l.f. is just universally ships. So I chose to go with the Catholic schoolgirl, also because I do know that a lot of my other makeup looks contained quite a bit of products and may not be suitable if you do go to a Catholic school or a school with a uniform. I know schools with uniforms do want a little bit more conformity with the looks and whatnot. Pretty much the only thing that you may get away with as far as individuality goes may even be just your hairstyle or whatever. So I didn't try to, you know, wig myself down or anything like that. So but basically I just kept it very simple, put on very, you know, manicure, clean nail lacquer, and just kept the whole look very soft and sweet for you. Went over, you know, some skincare products and just basically creating a really soft day look. I think this is a great look though for any high school student or anyone that needs a quick default look for when they have absolutely no time to get ready and they just need to look perfect. So here's this look for you, and I really hope that you enjoy this look. Alright, so to get started, I'm just going to take the Urban Decay Primer Potion in Original Formula, and we're just going to dab that all over the lid and up to the brow bone. It's pretty nude for the most part, but it does semi-correct the actual skin tone. So we're just going to apply that all over and just pat it on gently. It's good to have a good eyeshadow base because I think most Catholic schools, it's a pretty like set day. You don't really have the option of having like a shorter period day that you might in public schools. So I think a good eyeshadow base is essential because you're usually going to school for an entire full day. I'm going to take the e.l.f. eyeshadow palette in Noveau Nuetrals. It's just this really pretty sort of skin tone palette. It's all these gorgeous, very skin tone, soft, buttery colors. I'm going to start off with this really pale light color. We're taking the Eco Tools, it's not marked, it's just a paddle brush. And we're just going to pat that directly onto the skin. It does have some slight shimmer in it that if you're a high school student going to a Catholic school, you could probably get away with having slight shimmer. It's nothing overtly shimmery. Some Catholic schools allow students to wear some amount of makeup depending on the age of the student. And that will just clear like all the veining in the eyes. It's, like I said, nothing really noticeable. I'm just going to take this sort of slightly darker color, and we're just going to take the tip of the Eco Tools brush and we're just going to point it directly into the socket and just sort of press it in. And then just diffuse it out. If you need to soften it, you could just go back over it with that skin tone shade. Now, one thing that I think would be very flattering if you do go to Catholic school and you want a little bit of emphasis on your eyes, is to take a very sort of very natural colored pencil. If you take black, I think it's a little too heavy. I'm just going to start by pressing it into an angled brush. I'm just coloring the tips of that, but no further than the tips or you're just wasting product. And we're just going to get that into the base of the lash. You could take the Milani Liquify Eyes. Those will be fine too if you have a natural colored liner from them. I don't happen to have a natural liner from Milani because I have a lot of natural tone pencils from MAC. So if your parents can afford a MAC pencil, I do recommend them because they're creamy and they're not as expensive as Urban Decay. But if you have to buy your own like beauty supplies and you don't have a lot of money, the Milani Liquify Eyes are great. So just press that in the lash line and it's super duper natural. You could actually barely tell it's there. Now if you can't afford sort of a flesh toned pencil, I do recommend just taking a little bit of your concealer and just popping it on the lower lash line. Not on the waterline because I had just tried that over here and it poured out into my eye and blurred my vision, so I'm just going to pat it underneath instead and that'll give it a little bit of brightness. And then I'm going to take that flesh tone color from the Noveau Neutrals palette and we're just going to set underneath the lower lash line. Just keep it really soft and natural. Now, if you're going to Catholic schools or whatever, like I said, you have to go for usually a very more natural makeup look. You can't really get away with some things that other high school students get to get away with. So skincare is probably a major priority for you since everybody's definitely getting to see a lot more of your face. So there are nice, you know, vegan affordable tinted moisturizers like Kiss My Face. And then Veggie Beauty has this, which is Pumpkin and Poppy Cosmetics, and they're just powder foundations. Not really, I mean, I guess you could say it falls in the category of mineral foundation, but it doesn't have like the oils that you would see from a traditional like mineral oily type of foundation. So you can go ahead and take just like whatever you want. There are, like I said, there are good ones that are very soft and gentle to the skin. If you can afford Lush Cosmetics, having a proper toner and a face moisturizer is very quintessential. I mean, it is for me anyways. I'd consider skincare to be the investment piece, and then you don't need tons of expensive lipsticks and eyeshadows to get a good look. I'm going to take the Physician's Formula Happy Booster. It's just very soft and subtle. Anything that has like little bits of skin tone color or little bits of slight satin glow would probably be nice. It also has a mirror in case you need to touch up if you're going somewhere after school and you want to put on a little more blush. So I'm just going to apply it once again with a duo fiber because it's going to let me have a light coverage. I'm using the same brush I used to apply both my foundation and contour. Reason being is because it's going to sort of mellow out the blush and let it blend better with the skin, so that once again it doesn't look like you've just packed on a ton of makeup. So you can do that. If you can get away with that with the face, that's of course gorgeous. I don't think that's too extreme or obvious. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this sort of highlight color. I know it's a lot of kind of steps for a no makeup look. It's kind of one of those looks where it looks like you have nothing on, but you put effort into it. If you are like a makeup geek, of course, this will cure your cravings when you're in class so that you feel like really done and fresh. This is good for any student though. I think this is a really great one for a college kid if you're up all night studying. It's great for midterms to just get that sort of fresh look going. One way to get a really natural lip, if you're interested, is to just take something that doubles as a cheek color so that it just blends in very well. This is the Hard Candy Hide and Glow Cheek Tint. This is number 315 in Love. I'm just going to take a little bit of that. Just pick a shade that's literally like Your Lips But Better type of color, or something that barely has any tinge to it. So that'll just give it a little bit of life. And then just take your blush powder and then you can go ahead and set that so you don't have to pop out your lipstick in class, because I know Catholic schools will frown on that more than any other type of school. you just pop that on and you look completely done, and it's not over the top or completely obvious. So I hope that you found this look useful and helpful, and thanks so much for watching.